Good evening, everyone. Thank God it's Friday and it's that time of the week yet again. The kids are in bed. Well, mine's not. Get yourself a drink. Got one here this evening and come and join me for another edition of the LA Cinema Film Quiz. We're week number 15. It's 8:30 and action. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? It's good to be back. The week seems to have flown by. A beautiful, glorious day today in sunny Bristol. It's been a superb day the last couple of days. It really has felt like a spring day. I spent most of the time sat out relaxing in the garden today. It was that nice. Got a couple of people that have joined us. Dave giving us an introduction, a regular on the quiz each week. Good evening, Dave. Hope you've had a good one. Suzanne as well, saying hi, everyone. Hope you've all had a good week. We'll start the quiz in just a minute and give you a little lowdown on this evening, the rounds, a couple of mini reviews as always, and we'll end the night with a little topic of conversation, all related to cinema, of course. Okay, so is everyone ready for this evening's topics? So the usual format is 5 rounds, all consisting of 10 questions. The answers, of course, revealed at the end of the quiz, and we'll tot up your scores, see how you all get on for the 15th consecutive week, would you believe it or not, of the LA Cinema Quiz. Okay, here are tonight's topics. You all ready, everyone? Let me know what you're drinking this evening. I'm on the fruity stuff this evening. The Gordon's Orange Gin, which I've never tried before. It's quite nice. Nothing fruity, though, this evening on the programme. It's all kosher, strictly child-friendly, I assure you. Okay, so here's tonight's topics. Okay, round number 1. One of the great Hollywood icons and also a very fine director as well. Robert Redford, we open up this evening's quiz, 10 questions on him. Round number 2, we're going to be playing some audio clips, iconic scenes from the movies. Second round. The third round, we're going to do zombie films, which was a recommendation, I believe, from last week, from last Friday. Round number 4, I'm going to get my singing, my dulcet tones for you. So you'll be putting your fingers in your ears, no doubt, for 1960s film songs. And the penultimate round to end this evening, films about political figures. All sounds good. Thanks again, as I said, for joining me this evening. A few more names in the house. We got Jay Gibbs. Evening all. Dave's on the just on the Coke, a can of Coke. Probably worse than drinking alcohol, I'd imagine, for sugar content. And Amanda's having a shandy. Joining us from London, always a regular, Amanda and Rich. Good folk in London. Okay, everyone. So usual format, 5 rounds, 10 questions on each. The only thing I'll say, obviously, is don't put your answers in the live chat window because everyone will see them, and we'll break up the night with a couple of film reviews. And at the end, the topic of conversation, I'll be asking you your favourite films during the 2 lockdowns. So we've obviously been in lockdown on 2 occasions now. I'm going to ask you your picks. I've chosen 10. Very difficult to choose 10, but I've tried to choose a mix of films. And just for Jay Gibbs, there's a few world cinema ones in there, some hidden treasures that I'll reveal at the end. A Bloody Mary as well for Bikey Chick. Okay, here we go. Round number 1 on one of my favourites. We're going to go with Robert Redford. Good luck, everyone. I hope you enjoy this evening. As I said, it's all to test your cinema knowledge. We all have a shared love of cinema. So yeah, enjoy it, sit back, relax. We'll all try and have a little bit of a giggle. And here we go. Question number 1, round number 1. Okay, name the film festival Redford established in 1978, which takes place each January in Salt Lake City to showcase independent film. So, one of the great flag bearers for independent film, Robert Redford, set up a festival in 1978. Takes place each year in January in Salt Lake City to showcase independent cinema. But for 1 point, can you tell me the name of this famous festival? It's been a great cornerstone for a lot of filmmakers who've gone on to bigger things in the industry. Tarantino just one example with Pulp Fiction. Number 2 now, Robert Redford. Redford won the Best Director Oscar in 1981 for his direction work on which drama about a strained family relationship after a tragic death in the family? That's question 2. I'll repeat. Redford won the Best Director Oscar back in 1981, 40 years ago, for his direction work on which drama about a strained family relationship after a tragic death in the family? It's number 2. For question 3, we go to a more recent film. This one's 2018. See how you get on with this one. Number 3. Name the 2018 movie with Redford and co-starring Casey Affleck and Sissy Spacek. The film is based on the true story of Forrest Tucker, who escapes from San Quentin and at the age of 70 takes part in a string of heists that confounded authorities and enchanted the public. This is a film I actually went to see at the cinema with Jay Gibbs, who's taking part tonight. Really did enjoy this film. Good little film. But for question number 3, name the 2018 movie with Redford and co-starring Casey Affleck and Sissy Spacek, based on a true life story of Forrest Tucker, who escaped from San Quentin and at the age of 70 takes part in a string of heists that confounded authorities but enchanted the public. For question number 4, there's 2 points on offer, so obviously a point for each one. Here we go. Number 4, the 1970s. Robert Redford stars in the 1974 film adaptation of The Great Gatsby. The film is adapted by a novel by which author? That's for 1 point, first question. But the bonus point, name the famous American director who wrote the screenplay. So first part, probably slightly easier than the second question. Jay saying a great film. Yeah, it was good. Good to see that Redford still had his magic. Love Redford. Great start. Good actor. Fine man. Number 4 again. Robert Redford stars in the 1974 film adaptation of The Great Gatsby. The film's adapted by a novel by which author? That's for your first point. And for the bonus point, name the famous US director who wrote the screenplay. So I'm looking for the novelist, the famous novelist, and the man that wrote the screenplay. He's a famous Hollywood American director. Halfway through the round with 5, we're going to do a question on Western now. So for number 5, complete this title of a 1969 Western starring Robert Redford and Catherine Ross, who plays his love interest. So the first part is tell them blank, 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 blank. So I want you to complete the title of a 1969 Western with Robert Redford as the lead and Catherine Ross playing his love interest. The title starts with tell them, fill in the blank. So it's tell them blank, 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 blank. I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 words in the title. of a 1969 American Western. We go from the title of the film now to a co-star for question number 6. Redford plays a Washington Post journalist, Bob Woodward, who seeks to uncover the details of the Watergate scandal that would bring down President Richard Nixon. But name Redford's co-star who plays fellow journalist Carl Bernstein. This is a film I watched during one of the lockdowns. Should have been on my list, actually. Very fine film. It was one of my favourite films of the lockdown. Here's the question again. So Redford plays a Washington Post journalist, Bob Woodward, in All the President's Men. I should have mentioned the title, who seeks to uncover the details of the Watergate scandal that brings down the Richard Nixon administration. But name Redford's co-star, who plays fellow journalist Carl Bernstein. For number 7, we go to a Best Picture winner from the late 1980s. Here we go, 7. Name the 1986 Best Picture winner, set in 20th century colonial Kenya, where a Danish baroness plantation owner falls in love with a free-spirited big game hunter. Redford co-stars with Meryl Streep. So a quick swig of the old water, getting a bit of a dry throat. So in round 1, we're on question 7. Opening up tonight with the Hollywood icon and the good-looking boy indeed, Robert Redford. Here's question 7 again. Name the 1986 Best Picture winner, set in 20th century colonial Kenya, where a Danish baroness, plantation owner, falls in love with a free-spirited big game hunter. Redford co-stars with Meryl Streep. Looking for the name of the film. Best Picture winner, 1986. Couple more left in the round. Let's go to number 8, a film Redford directed now. Name the 1992 drama Redford directed, and is the story about 2 sons growing up in rural Montana who were devoted to fly fishing. The film stars Craig Shaffer, Brad Pitt, a very young Brad Pitt, Tom Skerritt, and Brenda Blethyn. Supposed to be a very good film, this one. I've not seen it. I believe it was nominated for the Best Film Oscar in the early 90s, but named the 1992 drama Redford directed. And it's the story about 2 sons growing up in rural Montana who were devoted to fly fishing. Film about fly fishing. The film stars Craig Shaffer, Brad Pitt, Tom Skerritt, and Brenda Blethyn. I'm just looking for the title, please. For number 9, we got 2 points on offer, so obviously a point for each. 1970s decade again. The Sting is a 1974 Best Picture winner about 2 grifters who pull off the ultimate con. Name Redford's famous male co-star, and for the bonus point, the famous Western they starred in 1969. Nice and simple. Another iconic film star. A very good-looking man as well in his youth. Here we go again. Number 9. The Sting is a 1974 Best Picture winner about 2 grifters who pull off the ultimate con. But name Redford's famous male co-star, and for the bonus point, the Western they starred in back in 1969. And the final one, a little bit more up to date. I say more up to date. We're looking at 30 years ago. Question 10 to cap off the round. Name the 1992 Redford movie with an all-star cast. It's about a security pro who finds his past coming back to haunt him when he and his team are tasked with retrieving a particularly important item. Remember seeing this film when it came out on video Really good film, big cast in it, loads of good stars in it. But I'm looking for a 1992 Robert Redford film. It's about a security pro who finds his past coming back to haunt him when him and his team are tasked with retrieving a particularly important item. That's question 10. That's all your 10 questions for round number 1 this evening on Robert Redford. If you need any repeating, let me know. And yeah, just shout out the numbers and I can repeat them back. And how did you get on with this round? Couple of nice ones to start up with, I thought. Some more kind of simpler questions, but a couple of tricky ones in there. Any Robert Redford fans playing this evening's quiz? One of the great Hollywood icons, in my opinion, very humble man, very intellectual man, very talented guy. Mikey Chick, fingers crossed, a 12 hopefully. And Dave saying definitely got a 6, possibly maybe a 7, which would be a good way to start. Suzanne asking for number 2 question, no problem. So here was question number 2, okay? Redford won the Best Director Oscar in 1981 for his direction work on which drama about a strained family relationship after a tragic death in the family? So again, Redford won the Best Director Oscar in 1981 for his direction work on which drama about a strained family relationship after a tragic death in the family? So Lucy's saying maybe an 8. Mr. Harlequin, Richard, in the capital this evening. Evening, James. We had to have a guess at 1, okay? John taking part this evening. Watched 10 this week after a long time. Enjoyed it. Number 10. Okay. Okay, you guys and girls ready for round number 2? I'm going to play some audio clips for this one. They're quite long clips, so I'll probably have to fade these ones out. We're looking at iconic quotes. So I'm going to play 10 iconic movie scenes, and I'll ask you a question for each. For number 1, I'm asking for the name of the film, and I'm asking for the actor delivering the famous line in the film. You know what I mean in just a minute. The clip goes on for a little bit, so hope you enjoy it. Some really famous, iconic scenes. Here we go. Number 1, name the film and the actor delivering one of the most famous lines in cinema history. Here we go. So I'm looking for the actor delivering this line in just a minute. Here we go.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die.
Okay, that's number one. I'm sure you're all going to get this one right. I'd be surprised if anyone doesn't. Stunning film, stunning scene. Somebody's saying they couldn't hear it. Do you want to play it again? I don't know if I can get it any louder. Let's try it one more time. Let's go to the dialogue scene. Here we go. Let's turn up the old volume.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time. Like in rain. Time to die.
Okay, so that was clip number one again. For this one, I was asking for the name, the title of the film, and the actor delivering that famous line. Such an iconic line. I believe it was even improvised. This is a long scene, again from one of my favorite films. I want you to name the two actors having this conversation and the film they appear in. So I'm looking for the two actors to start with. And the name of the film is an iconic American film. Imagine you've all seen it. Coming up in just a second.
"7 years in Folsom. In the hole for 3. McNeil before that. McNeil is tough, as they say.
You looking to become a penologist?
You looking to go back? You know, I chase down some cruise guys just looking to fuck up, get busted back. That you?
You must have worked some dipshit cruise.
I worked all kinds.
You see me doing thrill-seeker liquor store holdups with a Born to Lose tattoo on my chest?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that's clip number two. Two actors in a very famous scene from an American film. I want you to tell me the name of the two actors. And secondly, the name of the film. One of my favorites. Okay, we'll go to clip number three now. I can always replay these back at the end. Here's number three. So this is a scene from which famous war film? So there's the clue for you. A scene from which famous war film? Here we go.
I'm awfully glad you could be there, George. This sort of thing is always rather grim. But this one had a kind of splendor to it, don't you think?
I have never seen an affair of this sort handled any better.
The men died wonderfully. There's always that chance that one of them will do something that will leave everyone with a bad taste. This time you couldn't ask for better.
Yes? Yes, Colonel?
You wanted to see me, sir.
Oh, yes. Come in, Colonel. Come in and sit down.
Oh, Colonel Dax, your men died very well.
Would you like some coffee, Colonel?
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, by the way, Paul.
Okay, so that's the third clip. Okay, so the clue with this for this one was a famous American war movie. I want you to tell me the name of that film. Okay, we move on to the next one. Okay, so the question for this one, number 4. I want you to name the two actors in this scene, and the famous 1949 film is the clue. Here we go. There we go. Iconic scene.
Look down there. Would you really feel any pity if one of those dots stopped moving forever? If I offered you 20,000 pounds for every dot that stopped, would you really, old man, tell me to keep my money? Or would you calculate how many dots you could afford to spare? Free of income tax, only. Free of income tax. Oh, well, you can save money nowadays.
A lot of good your money will do you in jail.
That jail's in another zone. There's no proof against me. Besides you.
Okay, so that was the next clip. The clue for that one, it was two actors, famous dialogue scene. I want you to tell me the name of the two actors and the famous 1949 film. That's the clue. Classic piece of cinema. Here's the next one. Simply name the film for this one. Get this one queued up. Here we go. The next one. Okay, so for that one, there was no dialogue. We just had a music soundtrack, a very unique sound, but tell me the name of the film. Okay, ready for the next one? Okay, so number 6 now. Simply again, name the film for this one. Let's get this one queued up. Question number 6, we're round number 2. Here is the next one. Tell me the name of this film. Another scene for you.
Drink the drink.
But I don't want the drink.
He doesn't want the drink. He does.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
Listen, when I say I do, that means I do.
Just hope I won't get like that after having a few gins this evening. So the question was that, for that one, was simply from that dialogue, that excerpt, tell me the name of the film. We move on to the next one. This is another famous film. I want you to, again, tell me the name of the film for this one. Here we go. Just get this one queued up.
Everybody loved Joey. Little kids to the old rummies. Did you know him very well?
Well, you know, he got around.
What did that man mean just now?
Oh, don't pay no attention to him. He's drunk, he's falling down, everything. He's just a juice head that hangs around the neighborhood. Don't pay no attention.
I'd better go now.
You don't have to be afraid of me. I'm not going to bite you. I guess they don't let you walk with fellas where you've been, huh?
Okay, that's the next one with the fade out. Again, just tell me the name of that film, please. Okay, we're getting towards the last few. We're on to number 8 now. This is another iconic piece of cinema. The year, though, was 1960 is the clue. Tell me simply the name of this film, please, from the audio excerpt.
He feels a little chill. Can I bring him this blanket?
Sure.
All right.
Thank you. It's sad.
when a mother has to speak the words that condemn her own son. But I couldn't allow them to believe that I would commit murder. They'll put him away now, as I should have, years ago. He was always bad. And in the end, he intended to tell them I killed those girls and that man. As if I could do anything.
Going out with a fade out again. A 1960 iconic film. But for that one, tell me the title again. Two more left for number 9, slightly different. Can you name the 2 performers in this scene? And again, can you tell me the name of the film? This is one I'm ashamed to say I've never seen again, so this might be on my list for next week. Here we go.
You know, I'm so glad I never got involved with you. I just would have ended up being some woman you had to get up out of bed and leave at 3 o'clock in the morning and go clean your andirons. And you don't even have a fireplace. Not that I would know this.
Why are you getting so upset? This is not about you.
Yes, it is. You are a human affront to all women, and I am a woman.
Hey, I don't feel great about this, but I don't hear anyone complaining.
Of course not. You're out the door too fast.
I think they have an okay time.
How do you know?
I mean, how do I know? I know.
Because they...
Yes, because they...
Okay. So I want you to tell me the 2 actors, the actor and the actress in that scene. And of course, the name of the film. Okay, the final one, number 10. Can you tell me the name of this film? Get ready for some bad language. I'll get ready to get sued for probably playing these clips. But here we go. Here's the final one.
I don't give a shit who he's connected to. Tell him to take his fucking feet off the table. What do you think this is, a goddamn sawdust joint?
Sir, would you mind taking your feet off the table and put your shoes on, please?
Yeah, I would mind. I'm having a bad night.
Fucking asshole, little butch. Full security.
How are you? Good, how are you? Good. You want to do me a favor? You want to take your feet off the table and put your shoes back on? Fuck you.
Okay. Couple of expletatives there and some snazzy suits. But can you tell me the name of that film? So that was the 10 for round 2. How did you get on with these? I think we've done scenes before where I've read out the dialogue but not played the clips. So this is the first time. If you need any repeating, let me know and I can play them back. Any predicted scores for this round? Round number 2 this evening, that was iconic movie scenes. Some good ones in that. Kind of nice to have some audio snippets. Hope you enjoyed that. Any predicted scores, though? Everyone quite quiet on this one. Anyone confident? Could we have number 7 again? Yeah, of course you can. What was number 7? Yeah, we can indeed. Right, let's go with number 7. Here we go. Number 7 again.
Everybody loved Joey. Little kids to the old rummies. Did you know him very well?
Well, you know, he got around.
What did that man mean just now?
Oh, don't pay no attention to him. He's drunk, he's falling down, everything. He's just a juice head that hangs around the neighborhood. Don't pay no attention.
I'd better go now.
And you don't have to be afraid of me. I'm not going to bite you. I guess they don't let you walk with fellas where you've been, huh?
Okay, so for this one, I'm just after the name of the film, not the performers delivering the lines. I'm just looking for the title of the movie. Okay, so number 6 again. Yeah, not a problem. Number 6 is again, name the title of this film from the clip. Question 6 repeated. Here we go.
Drink the drink.
But I don't want the drink.
He doesn't want the drink. He does.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
Listen, when I say I do, that means I do.
you go. Brings back fond memories, that one, which I'll explain when I give out the answer later on at the end. Surely not confident on this one, saying didn't do well on that particular round. We'll move on to round number 3 in just a minute, but we'll just have a little breather, a little break, and my first review. What was my first review this evening? It's on my shelf. Okay. So we're going to go back to the 1980s, 1985 for the first review tonight. And this is a film I came across. Well, I'd heard of it for quite some time, but never seen it. It's actually quite a quirky little comedy, classed as an Australian film. The Los Angeles Times said at the time, it sparkles with a comic kick. It's Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts, and Greta Scacchi in The Coca-Cola Kid. It's directed by quite an acclaimed Yugoslavian director. Let me give you a quick synopsis of the film. So The Coca-Cola Kid, release date was 1985. I mentioned it stars Eric Roberts and Greta Scacchi. It's a romantic comedy about an ex-Marine turned Coca-Cola marketing guru called Becca, who's on a mission to boost sales in Australia when he discovers a dry spot in the outback where everyone is guzzling homegrown brew and not a drop of his company's cola. Okay, so I watched this. This was the first film I watched in the week, and I gotta be honest, I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Eric Roberts, I kind of feel a little bit sorry for this guy. I kind of feel he's always been a little bit in the shadow of his sister. Some bad film choices over the years, making a lot of kind of straight to DVD and video films. But I think he probably is a very good actor. He does ham up the part in this, and I'm not sure the romantic chemistry between Greta Scacchi and himself really kind of whether they pull it off convincingly. But it's an unusual, quirky little comedy. Performances overall are good. There's a really good scene where he takes an Aborigine off the street playing a didgeridoo, and they get them in the studio, and it actually is the brother of Neil Finn from Crowded House, Tim Finn, and they do a little Coca-Cola jingle, which is a nice scene. There's also some nice scenes with a rival company in Australia who are making a rival drink to Coke, which they end up going into business with, and all sorts of shenanigans. There's some good comedy. There's a bit of sex, all sorts of shenanigans going on. And The Coca-Cola Kid turns out actually to be quite a good, fun, little quirky film from the 1980s. It's a little bit different. It's not set in America. It's set out in the outback. So I'll give this one a thumbs up. I quite enjoyed it. So the first review tonight, The Coca-Cola Kid. And I can't believe that Coca-Cola had no involvement in this whatsoever. I find that hard to believe how they even got away with releasing this, because there's a little bit of kind of not having an attack, but it's kind of about corporate industry, corporate enterprise, and some of the things that go on in the corporate world. It's not a bad little film. Round number 3. Who last week asked for a round on zombie films? Who was that? I'd struggle on this round, but we got 10 questions on zombie films. Here we go. Number 1. Name the 2016 zombie movie starring Gemma Arterton and Glenn Close. It's about a scientist and a teacher living in a dystopian future who embark on a journey of survival with a special young girl named Melanie. Remember this one coming out when I worked in the cinemas, and I hear it's good. But number 1, name the 2016 zombie movie. It stars Gemma Arterton and Glenn Close. It's about a scientist and a teacher living in a dystopian future who embark on a journey of survival with a special young girl named Melanie. So for this one, I'm looking for the title of that film from the description. Tricky round, this one. I would hardly know any of these. I don't watch a lot of zombie films or know a lot about them. I've got to be honest, as your host. Number 2, going back to 79 now, 1979. But name the 1979 cult zombie movie directed by Lucio Fulci. In the film, strangers search for young woman's missing father and arrive on a tropical island where a doctor desperately seeks the cause and cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. So this is a famous cult zombie movie directed by Lucio Fulci from 1979. In this film, strangers search for a young woman's missing father and arrive on a tropical island where a doctor desperately seeks the cause and cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. I'm looking for that title of the film. The year 1979. Before I was born, I was -2. Number 3. Looking for name of an actor now. Name the popular American actor who plays the role of Columbus in the 2009 comedy zombie movie Zombieland. He did a sequel recently. We're talking about the first film, Zombieland. I'm looking for the name of the actor. So I want you to tell me the name of the popular American actor who plays the role of Columbus in the 2009 comedy zombie movie Zombieland. It's number 3. Number 4, we're doing the usual thing where there's 2 points on offer, a point obviously for each one. Here we go. Round number 3. Name the US director who directed the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead. His other directing credits include 300, Watchmen, and Man of Steel. But for the bonus point, name the director of the original 1978 film. Well, I know Davy Films will get the second part, I'm sure of it. But here's the question again. This is number 4. Name the American director who directed the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead. His other directing credits include 300, Watchmen, and Man of Steel. For the bonus point, though, I want you to name the director of the original 1978 film. Halfway through the round with number 5. I can't believe this is the 12th week of the second lockdown quiz. It's just flown by. It's, 3 weeks? 3 weeks. What am I on about? 3 months. Number 5 now. Name this zombie movie from 1985. After an odd new medical student arrives on campus, a dedicated local and his girlfriend become involved in bizarre experiments, catering around dead tissue. So I'm looking for a film from the 80s. The year's 1985, a zombie cult movie. Here's the synopsis. After an odd new medical student arrives on campus, a dedicated local and his girlfriend become involved in bizarre experiments, catering around dead tissue. That's number 5. So from a 1985 cult zombie film, I'm now looking for the name of a director for question number 6. Here we go. Name the New Zealand-born director who made the 1992 bloody Kiwi zombie flick, Brain Dead. So the film's called Brain Dead, came out in 1992. It's a Kiwi zombie flick directed by a New Zealand-born director. For 1 point, can you tell me the director's name, please? 4 more questions left. Number 7. Name the title of the final part of the Zombie Dead trilogy released in 1985. Not going to give you the director's name because that's cropped up in a previous question. But here's the question repeated. Number 7. Name the title of the final part of the Zombie Dead trilogy released in 1985. For number 8, we move to a zombie film, a zombie comedy. Name the British actor who plays Ed in Edgar Wright's popular 2004 zombie comedy, Shaun of the Dead. This is another film I've not seen. I know it's like a beloved zombie comedy movie, but for number 8, can you tell me the British comedy actor who plays Ed in Edgar Wright's popular 2004 zombie comedy film, Shaun of the Dead? 2 more left for this round. This is round number 3 for tonight. Number 9 now. We're going to go with a film from Europe. Okay, so number 9. Name the 2009 Norwegian zombie comedy about a ski vacation that turns horrific for a group of medical students as they find themselves confronted by Nazi zombies. That's number 9. So number 9 again. Name the 2009 Norwegian zombie comedy about a ski vacation that turns horrific for a group of medical students as they find themselves confronted by Nazi zombies. And the final one, number 10, for round 3. Here we go, British film now. Name the 2007 sequel to Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later. The 28 Days Later was an acclaimed film from the British filmmaker Danny Boyle. But I need, for 1 point, the title of the 2007 sequel. That's your last question for tonight's round number 3. Anyone need any of these shouted out again? And how did you fare with your zombie films? As I said at the beginning, this is a round I wouldn't be particularly good at all. I don't know a lot about zombie films. Any predicted scores for this one? Any zombie flick fans out there this evening? Do you enjoy a good bloody zombie flick? Or maybe a zombie flick with a dash of comedy, like Shaun of the Dead and the Norwegian film question? I know Davey Films likes his horror and his video nasties. Done well here, top marks for me, and he loves his zombie films. I knew he would. No, he likes his horror. He's I'll say this evening Dave's was a big collector of videos back in the day, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying it. He had a lot of the old what was classed as the video nasties back in the 80s, and he was selling a few of them. And crazy, they're so collectible, these films now. What they fetch, a lot of people wanting stuff on kind of old VHS cassettes, beta, the old ex-rental video cassettes. Bet you remember those. Those were the days. You'd have a takeaway on a Friday night, sit on your sofa, and you watch a VHS video that you rented, and they never ever wound them back. Bikie Chick saying she likes comedy zombie films. And Amanda, I watched The Walking Dead, but also films like 28 Days Later too. I think that just gave away one of the answers. Never mind. Yeah, Dave's saying they go for stupid money, some of these videotapes. And Bikie Chick saying not so keen on the gory ones, gory horror. Okay, you ready for some singing? Because I'm not. Oh, worst bit of the night for me. Okay, so we're going to do a round now. We've done the 80s, we've done 90s film songs. We're going to do the 60s. Okay, so for each question, there's going to be 10 songs. I'm going to try to sing them in the key they're sung in. And what I want you to do is tell me the name of the song, so the title, the name of the artist or the performer, and probably the hard thing, the film it features in. There's going to be 10 of these, obviously. Here we go. Number 1. Oh, I'm not going to repeat these. Okay, here's the first one. Wise men say only fools rush in. That is number 1. A couple of lines from the song. What is the title of that song? Who sang it? And what was the film? All the songs featured from the swinging 60s, the 1960s decade. That was number 1. Number 2, slightly longer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains. Then you get the hook line, the name of the title of the song, the artist or the performer or performers, and lastly, the name of the film. That was number 2, round number 4. Number 3, you'll all get this one. Famous song. Here we go. Number 3. If I can see the lyrics. Here we go. You know I work all day to get your money and buy your things, and it's worth it just to hear you say you're gonna give me everything. So why on earth should I moan? 'Cause when I get you alone, you know I feel okay. Okay, lines from a famous song. What is the song title? Who is the artist? And what film does it feature in from the 1960s? You ready for number 4? This is halfway through the song, so I've got to know the key. Here we go. So I just did my talking to the sun, and I said I don't like the way things got it done. Sleeping on the job. That was terrible. Okay, I'll do it one more time. I got the key totally wrong. Here we go. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I don't like the way he's got things done. Sleeping on the job, and then the hook line. So I'm looking for the title of the song, the name of the artist, and the film it features in. Moving on to number 5. Here we go. Get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure in whatever comes our way. It's the next one. Number 5, get your motor running indeed. What was the title of the song? The band or the performer? And what film does it feature in? That was 5. Number 6. People stop and staring. I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. Okay, nice and short. Tell me the name of the song, the performer, and the film. That was 6. Number 7, you'll all get this one. Here we go. 7. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? A nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Ba-ba-ba. So, for that again, the song title, the performers or performer, and the film. That was 7. Couple more left to go. Thank heavens. Here we go. Number 8. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. So number 8 again. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. So, name of the song, and it's a hard one to spell. The performers. So there's 2 performers in this one. I'm looking for both names. And, of course, the film. Number 9 now. Here we go. They give us a room with a view of the beautiful Rhine. They give us a room with a view of the beautiful Rhine. Give me a muddy old creek in Texas any old time. That's number 9. The film, please. The performer. And again, the title of the song. And number 10, thank heavens, the last one. The last one of round number 4. Here we go. I wish I had an acoustic guitar for this one, but this is quite a hard song to play on an acoustic. But Dave might be able to play this one. One of his favourite bands even did a cover of this one, but not as good as the original. Here we go. Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. Everywhere people stare, each and every day. I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, and the hook line. So I'm looking for the title of the song again, the performer or performers, and the film. That was all 10. How did you get on with those? I hope I sang them in key. Certainly didn't sing them in tune. How did you get on with your music round? It was the 60s. If you want any repeating, I will do them again, not a problem. Anyone missed any or like them any sung again or attempted to sing, let me know. Anyone quietly confident they got a full house for this one? I think with this one, the film is probably the trickiest part. Everyone's gone quiet. I'm not surprised after those renditions. Can you repeat 1 to 10 again? No way. No way, Jose. Number 6 and number 1. Okay, yeah. 1 to 10. I like that. I don't know. If I sung like Nat King Cole, I'd quite happily sing them all again. But here we go. So number 1 was wise men say only fools rush in. Remember the band had a number 1 hit doing a remake of this one. But I'm looking for the title of the song, the artist and the film. And number 6, what was number 6? Here we go. People stop and staring. I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. That was number 6. Anyone else? What was number 7? Oh, number 5. Everybody's just going to ask me to sing them all now, aren't they? Number 5, here we go. A rocky one now. Get your motor running. Head out in the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. I feel like getting the guitar out and plugging it through the amp. Number 7 then. That was number 5, Matt. Number 7 is Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio? A nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Bo-bo-bo. That was number 7. Bikie Chick saying quite confident. It must have been the great singing. Oh, if only. Heaven forbid. Okay, so we'll move on to the final round in just a second. Last round tonight, penultimate round, is 10 questions. Films about political figures. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to do another quick film review just to break up the night. The next film was a recommendation. I'm hoping he's still here this evening. It's a new Amazon Prime release. Jay Gibbs told me to watch this one, so I did. It's I Care a Lot. It's a new film, as I said, comes straight to the Amazon Prime streaming service, directed by Jay Blakeson, who I'd never heard of. Good cast, though. Rosamund Pike is the lead. You got Isaac Gonzalez, Peter Dinklage is always good, and the veteran actress Diane Wiest, very well known for her appearances in Woody Allen films. Here's the synopsis. A crooked legal guardian who drains the savings of her elderly wards meets a match when a woman she tries to swindle turns out more than she appears. Okay, so this was the second film I watched this week. It was off the back of one of the participants tonight, a good friend of mine, Jamie Gibbs, saying, give this one a go. I do like Rosamund Pike. I think she's very, very good actress, very talented. I liked her performance in the unusual David Fincher film Gone Girl. And I got to be honest, this was a 2-hour film and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought this was very good. I thought all the performers, all the actors were exceptional. They were all good. Particularly if I had to say a standout performance, well, they're all good, but Rosamund Pike is excellent. It was nice to see a film led by all female performers. That for me was refreshing. I enjoyed it immensely. I thought the script was very good. There was enough twists and turns. It was very offbeat. Good dialogue. As I said, the performances were exceptional by them all. And I really enjoyed the twists and turns throughout the film. You didn't really kind of know where it was going. And I suppose you best describe it as a black comedy, I guess. Really enjoyed some of the twists, particularly the ending, which I thought finished it all up. And there's kind of a moral hidden message, I think, going on in this film as well about corporate greed, kind of look after number one and stab anyone in the back to kind of get on in your place in life and make as much money as you can, I suppose, is kind of the motto behind the absurdity and the black comedy elements as well. Overall, I thought this was a really good film. Anyone seen this one, the new Rosamund Pike Amazon Prime release, I Care a Lot? Anyone seen this one yet? If so, I'd give this one a thumbs up. Give it a go. I thought it was a really good black comedy. I've heard some mixed reviews, but I got to be honest, I thought this was good. Good film. Little bit, it's hard to be original, I think, with modern filmmaking. You know, the medium's been around for over 100 years. Really difficult to do things new, but I thought it was quite an original film. Great to see pretty much an all-female cast. Really good. If anyone's seen it, let me know what they think. And we'll get back to the quiz. Go from a mini film review to the final round. Films about political figures. 10 questions. Here we go. Number one. Here we go. Final round of tonight. Good luck, everyone. If you struggle with some of the earlier rounds, here might be your chance to pick up a few points. Here we go. Number one. Name the iconic American leader. So I'm looking for the political figure's name, who is the center of Steven Spielberg's biopic centering around the American Civil War. So I'm looking for number one, name the iconic American leader, or shall I say president, who is the center of a Steven Spielberg biopic centering around the American Civil War. That is number one. Round 5, the final round tonight, the 12th edition of the quiz. Number 2, I'm looking for a British actress now. Name the British actress who won the Oscar in 2007 for playing Queen Elizabeth II in Stephen Frears' biopic, The Queen. So you go from a presidential leader to a British acclaimed actress. But name the British actress. She won the Academy Award in 2007. She played Queen Elizabeth II in the Stephen Frears biopic, The Queen. Who is she? For 1 point. Number 3, a little bit trickier now. Name the American actor who plays President Richard Nixon in Ron Howard's 2008 film Frost Nixon, about the famous post-Watergate television interviews. This guy apparently wrote, somebody told me, quite an interesting book about his insights on Hollywood, what goes on behind the scenes. Apparently it's quite scathing. Number 3, name the American actor who plays President Richard Nixon in the film Frost Nixon, about the famous post-Watergate television interviews. So it's the interviews between President Richard Nixon, or the ex-president, and David Frost, the famous television journalist and interviewer. Number 4, back to the Oscars. Name the Oscar-winning Australian-born actress who portrays monarch Elizabeth I during her early years in the 1998 film Elizabeth. So we've already had a question on Elizabeth II, our current queen and monarch. Now a question on another famous monarch, Elizabeth I, played by an Australian Academy Award winning actress from a 1998 film called Elizabeth. But who is that actress? Number 5, halfway through the round, the final round of tonight. Name the historical character Mel Gibson portrays in the Oscar-winning film Braveheart, which he also directs. So I'm looking for a historic figure. Mel Gibson plays him and directs as well, of course, in the film Braveheart, the Oscar-winning film. Name the historical character he portrays in that film. Now to a question in British history now, with number 6. British actor Colin Firth won the Oscar in the leading male category for portraying King George VI in which 2010 film? So we go back, 11 years. I can't believe it. 11 years. But I'm looking for a Colin Firth winning the Oscar in the leading male category. Play King George VI in which 2010 film? World cinema question now. Jamie Gibbs will love this one. This is a film I do need to see, though. Name the Swiss-born actor, a prominent figure in German language film, who portrays Adolf Hitler in the 2004 film Downfall. I've heard incredible things about this film. This needs to be on my watch list. But the film Downfall, a Swiss-born actor, prominent figure in German language film, plays Adolf Hitler in the movie. Tell me the name of that actor, please. Apparently his performance is supposed to be incredible. Anyone seen the film? Let me know. Let me know what it's like. Number 8 now. A few more left. Name the actor who won the Academy Award for his portrayal of Ugandan dictator Idi Amin in the 2006 film The Last King of Scotland. So 2006 film, an actor won the Academy Award for his portrayal of Ugandan dictator Idi Amin for the 2006 film The Last King of Scotland. For 1 point, Tell me the name of the actor, please. 2 more left. Another acclaimed film. This one from 2 years earlier, from 2004. It's The Motorcycle Diaries. It's a film about a motorcycle road trip during which Marxist revolutionaries' youth, which showed him his life's calling. So I'm looking for the political figure for that one, not an actor's name. So number 9, The Motorcycle Diaries is a 2004 film about a motorcycle road trip during which Marxist revolutionaries' youth, which showed him his life's calling. And we move on to the last question of the night, question 10. Question 50, of course, the penultimate question. Here it is. Name the 1987 film starring Denzel Washington and Kevin Kline. The film is about a South African journalist, Donald Woods, who was forced to flee the country, after attempting to investigate the death in custody of his friend, the black activist Steve Biko. So number 10 again, name the 1987 film. It stars Denzel Washington and Kevin Kline. The film is about a South African journalist, Donald Woods, who was forced to flee the country after attempting to investigate the death in custody of his friend, the black activist Steve Biko. Tell me the name of the film. Okay, so there's all your questions for tonight. Yeah, 12th week of the quiz, as Mr. Harlequin says. Love The Motorcycle Diaries. Got it on DVD. That's a film I haven't seen. But I've got on my phone, I keep a list of films that I need to see. I've got a whole list of ones. Let me have a look what I've got on my list. Loads of stuff that I need to watch. So I'll add that to the list. I've got Solaris, The House That Jack Built, Straw Dogs, which I've never seen, Chimes at Midnight, get into some Louis Malle films, Downfall, Gangs of New York, so many films I've not seen, some Ingmar Bergman, but I'll put that on my list. 7 for me on the last round, saying Dave Films, 345. Bikey Chick, fingers crossed, a 10. If you need any shouting out again, let me know. And in just a sec, we'll recap, and we'll recap. I'll give you all the answers and see how you got on for tonight's quiz. Yeah, if you need any repeating again, just let me know. Okay, we always have a topic of conversation, don't we, to finish off these quizzes. And I think I'm going to have a few swigs of gin. Okay, so next week, we'll come back with a quiz next week, but the topic of conversation is going to be a little bit different next week. Okay, so it's not really film related next week, our topic of conversation. This year, I celebrate my 40th birthday in September. And for a long time, I've been thinking of, shall I have a party? You know, I suppose 40 is kind of a little bit of a milestone. And I kind of thought, will I be having a party if we're, in lockdown or whatever the situation will be at the time? It looks like things are going to open up in April, May. So we got a community hall over the road. I think I might book that. But I was going to ask you next week about milestones. What have you done for particular milestones in your life, whether it was a wedding anniversary, a birthday? What kind of things did you do? Maybe some film related things in there. I suppose with these lockdowns coming up to being 40 this year, oddly, I've kind of been looking back and thinking, how did my life go from this point 20 years ago? I was a young whippersnapper in my 20s, experiencing and enjoying the fine things in life, the ups and downs, the struggles, experiencing workplaces and so on, to the situation I'm in now. So next week, not a film question, but I was going to ask you about milestones, what you've done to celebrate anniversaries, particular moments in your life. So that'd be next week's topic of conversation. Not film related, but I thought it'd kind of be nice to hear your thoughts on things in perspective with what's gone on in the last year plus. Okay, so this week, I did ask you last week, we've been in 2 lockdowns. I've lost so much track of the time. How long were we in lockdown for lockdown 1? Was it 3 months? Was it lockdown 3 months? I can't recall. But I was going to ask your favorite films that you've watched during lockdown. For me, I've watched more films, I think, in lockdown than I did when things were normal, if you can class life as normal, and when I was going to work in a cinema. So I've chosen 10 of my favorite lockdown films, but I wanted to find out your favorite lockdown films. Maybe films you've discovered, films you've maybe watched on streaming platforms, films you maybe purchased on DVDs or in your collection, maybe films you even saw at the cinemas when they reopened. I've chosen 10 that I'm going to share with you that I've spoken about. Amanda saying, name dropping, saying she saw Robert Redford in London years ago. He brought his film festival and introduced the Eagles and their documentary. Oh, great stuff. Okay, Mr. Harlequin, Groundhog Day somehow strikes a bit of a chord. Seen loads of films in the lockdown. It's really hard to pick 10. I've seen so many. The 10 I've picked, I've tried to choose a variety, and I've spoken about them in the last couple of weeks. I'll share them, and I'd be interested to hear your favourites and why. Okay, so here's my 10 that I've so far that are my favourites for different reasons. Okay, Japanese film, which is hailed as one of the best films ever made. I didn't choose it for that reason. Beautiful film about an elderly couple going back to see their younger family and kind of being ignored by them. So Tokyo Story is my first choice. It is such a great film, poignant film as well. I'll read out your choices in just a minute. My next one was the Netflix film with Adam Sandler, believe it or not, Uncut Gems, about a jewelry pawn shop owner who just lives life on the edge, gambles his money around, no stability in his life whatsoever. Really good film. Really enjoyed that one. One of the best Netflix produced films in my view. My next one was this one, the political film Network, which to me just sums up kind of modern times, the way the media works today. It's probably more relevant today than it's ever been, with fantastic performances. So Network's brilliant. The next favorite film in lockdown was, I had to choose a Stanley Kubrick film. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. I'd never seen this film, and I have to say that Barry Lyndon, I think, is probably one of his best films alongside 2001. It's just a beautiful period piece, a 3-hour epic. It looks like a Renaissance painting. If somebody put on this film and said, this is how you learn how to make films, I'd give up instantly. It's stunning. My next one was a brilliant Western from the 80s by a great independent filmmaker, very acclaimed, called John Sayles, Matwan, or Matwen. I always get told by Lee, Mr. Baseheart, that I pronounced this one right. It's brilliant Western based on a true life story about injustices with the unions. My next one was a documentary from the 80s called The Thin Blue Line, which is quite an acclaimed and quite groundbreaking documentary, particularly with docus being so prevalent today, about a man found guilty of a crime he didn't commit, and this documentary proves that he was innocent. It's a brilliant film. The next one, there's a couple more. So Zed was another one. I don't have the DVD here, which was again a political film, brilliant film. And my last few choices were the Kieslowski film Double Life of Veronique, which I thought was just stunning. And the last two I chose was Come and See, which is a Russian World War II film. And I'd probably say probably the best war film, most realistic film I'd ever seen. To me, it puts Saving Private Ryan to shame. Stunning. And the last one, a bit pretentious, but I had to choose a Tarkovsky, and it's Mirror. This is just a stunning film, simple story, but just told in such a groundbreaking way. But I also could have chosen Stalker. So there's a few of my choices. What are your ones? Here we go. Call Me by Your Name. Yeah, that was a stunning film. I saw that at the cinema. I really thought it was a beautiful film. I thought it should have won Best Film at the Oscars a couple of years back. Chalamet. What else? Barry Lyndon. Yeah, Bikey Chick. Agrees with me on that one. It is a beautiful film. Kubrick definitely at the peak of his powers. With that one in 2001, A Space Odyssey, I would say is his two best. The Dig is on Bikey Chick's list to watch. Is that the one with, is it Rolf Fiennes? I'm trying to think of her name. Kerry Mulligan, is that the one? Train to Busan and Okja. Okja's the one by Bong Joon-ho, isn't it? Really good films. Also really enjoyed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I find there's so many films with Once Upon a Time in. But Once Upon a Time in America, new as well. It's one of my favorites. Anyone else with new stuff that they've seen during the lockdown that they recommend? Any new stuff on like Netflix, Amazon Prime, on the streaming platforms? Bikey Chick saying we've been watching apocalyptic films for some reason. Surprisingly enjoyed Greenland. I don't know that one. Don't know that at all. Okay, everybody ready for the answers? Yeah, I found it hard to pick 10, to be honest. I've seen a lot of good ones. I haven't really seen many bad ones, to be honest, during the lockdown, but I've kind of been selective, going by reviews and so on. Okay, let's go with the answers then. Good luck, everyone. Okay, round one was Robert Redford, the great Hollywood icon, also a very fine director. So number one, name the film festival that Redford established in 1978. It's, of course, Sundance, the Sundance Film Festival, showcasing independent cinema, put so many filmmakers on the map, including Quentin Tarantino. So Sundance Film Festival, answer number one. Number two, the film he directed that won the Best Director Oscar. I think it got Best Film as well. It was Ordinary People. Ordinary People, answer number two. It's a good film. The film he made in 2018 was The Old Man and the Gun. The Old Man and the Gun is your answer number three. Number four, The Great Gatsby was written by the novelist F. Scott Fitzgerald. I bet most of you got that one. But who wrote the screenplay? That's a tough one. I said it was a famous American director. It's Francis Ford Coppola, which I never knew until Wednesday night. Anyone get that one? So answer one, 1 point for F. Scott Fitzgerald, and your second point for Francis Ford Coppola. Number five was complete the title of a 1969 Western. The first line was Tell Them, and the full title is Willie Boy is Here. Tell Them Willie Boy is Here. Good little Western, 1969. Number six, it was Dustin Hoffman, who's his co-star in All the President's Men. He plays journalist Carl Bernstein. So answer number six, Dustin Hoffman. Number 7, the 1986 Best Picture winner, where Redford co-stars romantically with Meryl Streep, is Out of Africa. Out of Africa, answer number 7. Number 8, the 1992 drama that Redford directed, which was one of the first kind of big breakthroughs for Brad Pitt, is A River Runs Through It. A River Runs Through It. Answer number 8. Number 9, who was Redford's co-star in The Sting, the 1974 Best Picture winner? It, of course, was the handsome Paul Newman. And the film they also co-starred in was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. So Paul Newman and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Your 2 answers. And the last one was a tricky one. The 1992 film that I described was Sneakers. I remember seeing that back in the day. Good film. Sneakers is your final answer. How did everyone get on? Couple more film suggestions. Mr. Harlequin liked Outbreak. That was Dustin Hoffman, wasn't it? Contagion. 28 Days Later. 12 Monkeys. Sensing a bit of a theme. I am indeed. I'm indeed. Jay Gibbs saying, watched that last night. What was that? Sneakers? Was it? How did everyone get on with your scores for your opening round? Watch Sneakers this week. Yeah, it's a good film. Loads of actors in that one. It's got like Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd. Who else is in it? Bikey Chick, a good opening score with an 11. Jay Gibbs watched it on Prime. I'm bitterly disappointed, Jay. I've been given all these Fellini recommendations, Bergman's. He's still not taking me up on this world cinema. River Phoenix, yeah, of course. 10 for Suzanne. 12 for Mr. Harlequin. Some good scores to open up with. Okay. So the clips, the audio clips was round number 2, wasn't it? Do you want to hear them again or do you want me to give the answers? So it was the iconic movie scenes. 9 for Dave. Hell of a score. So we've had some good scores for round number 1. You like your Robert Redford questions on the fruity stuff tonight. Okay, 9 for Dave, as I said. Okay, I think we'll play the clips. Why not? Maybe I'll skip forward on them a bit. Okay, so the first one, I was looking for the name of the film and the actor who delivers the line. Here it was. A lot of huffing and puffing.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die.
And imagine you all got this one. It's a stunning film. It's one of my favorites. Beautiful scene. It's Blade Runner, of course, and the main line I was looking for, the Tears in Rain line, was Rutger Hauer, of course. So Blade Runner, and the actor was Rutger Hauer. 2 actors having a chat over a coffee. We do it all the time, but one happens to be an LAPD cop, the other one an intellectual criminal. What was the film? Who were the actors?
7 years in Folsom. In the hole for 3. McNeil before that. McNeil is tough, as they say.
You looking to become a penologist?
You looking to go back? You know, I chase down some cruise guys just looking to fuck up, get busted back. At you?
You must have worked some dipshit cruise.
We'll fade out there. Could listen to that whole scene. So famous. Okay, so the film is Heat, of course. It's Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. I bet you all got this one as well. This next one was slightly harder. It was a famous war movie, was the clue. Here is a little bit of the dialogue for you, the scene.
I'm awfully glad you could be there, George.
The director's come up
This sort of thing is
tonight.
always rather grim. But this one had a kind of splendor to it, don't you think?
I have never seen an affair of this sort handled any better.
The men died wonderfully. There's always that chance that one of them will do something that will leave everyone with a bad taste. This time you couldn't ask for better. Yes?
Yes, Colonel?
You wanted to see me, sir.
Oh, yes. Come in, Colonel. Come in and sit down.
Tremendous war film from a tremendous director. It, of course, is Paths of Glory, the Stanley Kubrick war film. So Paths of Glory, answer number 3. The next one, the 2 actors in the scene and the famous 1949 film. Let's have a little snippet. Familiarize you.
Be melodramatic. Look down there. Would you really feel any pity if one of those dots stopped moving forever? If I offered you 20,000 pounds for every dot that stopped, would you really, old man, tell me to keep my money? Or would you calculate how many dots you could afford to spare? Free of income tax, or free of income tax? Oh, well, you can save money nowadays.
A lot of good your money will do you in jail.
That jail's in another zone.
Okay, a little snippet from that famous film. The film was The Third Man from 1949. But who were the 2 performers? One was quite straightforward, the genius of the cinema, Orson Welles. The other actor was Joseph Cotton. So Joseph Cotton, 1 point. 2nd point for Orson Welles. The film, The Third Man. What was the next one? Name the film. No dialogue in this one. Simply a music soundtrack. What was it? Here we go. Very synthesizer based, this one. Very classical, though. Okay, so what was the film? I think we got a bit of a Kubrick theme going on tonight. It, of course, was A Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange, your answer for question number 5. Number 6, name the film again. What was the film? Let's have a little listen. It's a family film.
Drink the drink.
But I don't want the
1988.
drink.
He doesn't want the drink.
He does.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
Listen, when I say I do, that means I do.
Okay, might feel a bit like that later on with Majin. Is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Brings back such good memories of seeing that when it came out of the cinema, Christmas 1988. Answer 6, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The next one I asked again. Can you tell me the name of the film? Play a clip in just a second. Just a quick recap. It's a famous black and white Hollywood movie.
Everybody loved Joey. Little kids to the old rummies. Did you know him very well?
Well, you know, he got around.
What What did that man mean just now?
Oh, don't pay no attention to him. He's drunk, he's falling down, everything. He's just a juice head that hangs around the neighborhood. Don't pay no attention.
Oh, cut it short there. Apologies. Okay, so the two the performers in that scene was Marlon Brando and Eve Marie Saint, and it was On the Waterfront. So the answer is On the Waterfront, the film. The next one, the clue was a 1960 film. What was a Hitchcock film? What was it?
He feels a little chill. Can I bring him this blanket?
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
It's sad when a mother has to speak the words that condemn her own son, but I couldn't allow them to believe that I would commit murder. They'll put him away now, as I should have.
Little fade out. It was the famous Alfred Hitchcock Psycho from 1960. So answer 8, that was Psycho. Number 9, I was asking, name the two performers in the scene and the film. This is another one I've never seen. Shame to say it. Be on my watch list. Here we go.
You know, I'm so glad I never got involved with you. I just would have ended up being some woman you had to get up out of bed and leave at 3 o'clock in the morning and go clean your andirons. And you don't even have a fireplace. Not that I would know this.
Why are you getting so upset? This is not about you.
Yes, it is. You are a human affront to all women, and I am a woman.
Hey, I don't feel great about this, but I don't hear anyone complaining.
Of course not. You're out the door too fast.
I think they have an okay time.
How do you know?
Okay, so Billy Crystal was the man. Meg Ryan was the woman. God, I would have loved a date with Meg Ryan in the 80s, but sadly I was too young. And it was When Harry Met Sally, of course. So Meg Ryan 1 point, Billy Crystal another point. And When Harry Met Sally. We had some bad language, didn't we, for this last one? It was After the Watershed, though. What was the film?
I don't give a shit who he's connected to. Tell him to take his fucking feet off the table. What's he think this is, a goddamn sawdust joint?
Sir, would you mind taking your feet off the table and put your shoes on, please?
Yeah, I would mind. I'm having a bad night.
Fucking asshole.
Butch.
No security.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Want to do me a favor? You want to take your feet off the table and put your shoes back on?
Fuck you.
Nice way to end the clip. Okay, so this was a film I got kicked out of the cinema for sneaking in. I would have been about 15. It was an 18 film. I sneaked into it and got kicked out by the management. It was Martin Scorsese's Casino. We heard Robert De Niro in that scene. So Casino, your final answer. Okay, how did you get on with that round? Did enjoy that round. Nice to hear some of those famous clips. Some of them brought back some fond memories, particularly the Heat one, the cafe, a famous scene between the two leads, Pacino and De Niro, cop and thief. Really great scene, iconic. What were your scores? Some really good. I love the Blade Runner one, that Tears in Rain, which Sose was improvised on the set by Rutger Hauer. Beautiful, beautiful scene with that music by Vangelis. What were your scores? Go 15, a good score. Lucy Hawkins. Very good score indeed. Lucy, 15. First one, 11 for Dave Films. Bikey Chick, a 13. So Lucy, top so far. 16, and we didn't get On the Waterfront. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Amanda didn't get that one. With Marlon's voice, distinctive voice. Okay, the zombie questions. Here we go. Number one, answer number one, the 2016 zombie film I described Gemma Arterton and Glenn Close is The Girl with All the Gifts. The Girl with All the Gifts. Answer 1. Number 2, the cult 1979 zombie film that I described is Zombie Flesh Eaters. I know Dave will get this one. Zombie Flesh Eaters is your zombie answer number 2. Number 3, who's the popular US actor who plays the role of Columbus in Zombieland? It's Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg is your answer number 3. Number 4 for zombie movies, there was 2 points on offer. I asked you to name the director who directed the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead. It is Zack Snyder. And then I asked you to name the original director from the 1978 movie. It's George A. Romero, of course. So Zack Snyder gets you 1 point, and George A. Romero gets you your 2nd point. Number 5, I described a zombie cult film from 85, a little synopsis. The film I described was Reanimator. Did anyone get that one? Cult movie, Reanimator, answer number 5. Number 6, I asked the director's name, the director of Brain Dead. New Zealand-born director. Brain Dead, of course, released in 92. It's Peter Jackson, famous for the Lord of the Rings films. Peter Jackson did King Kong. Got a new Beatles documentary film coming out. Number 7, I wanted the final part, the title of the Zombie Dead trilogy. Came out in 1985. It's Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead. Answer number 7. Number 8, the British comedy actor who plays Ed in Shaun of the Dead. It's Nick Frost. Nick Frost, British actor. He's your answer number 8. Number 9, 10 out of 10 if you got this one. This is a hard one. It's Dead Snow. It's a 2009 Norwegian zombie comedy film about ski students confronted by Nazi zombies. Sounds mad as hell. Dead Snow. Anyone seen that one? And the last one, number 10, the 2007 sequel to Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later is 28 Weeks Later. So number 10, 28 Weeks Later. Anyone up on their zombie films? Do we get half a point for just zombie? No, I'm afraid. Got Dead Snow on Blu-ray, Dave? Right, okay. Any good? Is it any good? Bikey Chick's got it as well. Hasn't watched it yet. I find with Blu-rays and DVDs, I pick them up all the time. There's some I've never watched. Terrible compulsive buying syndrome. I buy stuff, but never watch it. Any zombie fans out there with some good scores tonight? How did we do as we move on to the dreaded song round next, which was round number 4? Dead Snow, pretty fun, saying John. Only a 7 on that one, so dropping a couple of points there. That was Mr. Harlequin. Got him all right, Dave. I knew Dave would like he loves his zombie films, loves his horror, cult movies. Bikey Chick, a good score of 10. Okay, I'm not going to sing these ones, thankfully. Okay, number 1. The line I read out was, the song was Can't Help Falling in Love. It's the King, Elvis Presley. And the film was Blue Hawaii. So Can't Help Falling in Love is the song. Elvis Presley, the performer. And the film was Blue Hawaii. Excuse me. Answer number 2. The song was The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. And the film is The Graduate. So 1 point, Sound of Silence. Another point for Simon and Garfunkel. And another point for The Graduate. Number 3 was dead easy, wasn't it? It was A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles, the Fab Four. And it was of course, from the film A Hard Day's Night. Number 4, I think I was slightly off key. Was I on key with any of them? Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head is the song. Hard, the performer, it's BJ Thomas, difficult one. And of course, it's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Number 5 was Born to Be Wild. Good rock tune, isn't it? By Steppenwolf. And it's from Easy Rider. So Born to Be Wild, Steppenwolf, and Easy Rider. Number 6 was quite straightforward. It's Everybody's Talking by Harry Nilsson. And the film is the Oscar-winning Midnight Cowboy. Number 7, Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio? Well, it was Mrs. Robinson was the song. Simon and Garfunkel again in the same film, From the Sound of Silence. It's The Graduate. The Graduate. Number 8 was Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Don't try and spell it, because I just had to copy and paste it. Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, the performers. And of course, it's Mary Poppins, the beloved Mary Poppins. Number 9, They Give Us a Room with a View of the Beautiful Rhine. If only they did. It's GI Blues is the song. It's Elvis Presley again from the same film mentioned earlier, GI Blues. And the last one is You've Got to Hide Your Love Away is the song. It's the Beatles, of course, again, Lennon and McCartney's song. And it's from Help. So there you go. How did everyone get on with your songs from the 60s decade? Do love that last song. One of my favourites, and I said, Dave, one of your favourite bands did a cover. Oasis did a cover, I think, of on a radio station. It's not a bad cover, in fairness, but I'm a little bit biased. I've always been a Beatles man, I think. A Beatles and a Stones guy. 27 for Susan Chilcott, really good score. So 27. See what your scores are, and then we'll do the last round, which was political figures in movies. Was the last round. Lucy Hawkins doing really well. 24 is good. Mr. Harlequin saying, we got all those right. Well, one of us did. John Ross, Bikey Chick, Jane and I got a full house. Very good indeed. Well done. Okay, we'll move on to the last one in just a second, see if there's any more scores. 17, Dave saying. 17, he thinks. Okay, the final 10 answers then. So the American Lido's the central focus in a Spielberg biopic. It's Abraham Lincoln, set around the American Civil War. It's Abraham Lincoln. The British The British actress who won the Academy Award for her portrayal as Elizabeth II, the Queen. In the film, the Queen is Helen Mirren. I bet you all got that one. Helen Mirren, answer number 2. Number 3, a bit trickier. It's Frank Langella. Frank Langella played Skeletor, didn't he, in Masters of the Universe? I bet he wants to forget about that one. But he plays Richard Nixon in the film Frost Nixon. So answer 3, Frank Langella. Number 4, I always think she's excellent. She's good in everything. It's Cate Blanchett, who plays Elizabeth I in the 1998 film Elizabeth. I've heard it's good. I'm not seeing it, sadly. William Wallace is answer number 5. That's the character Mel Gibson portrays in Braveheart. William Wallace. Number 6, the British actor Colin Firth won an Oscar for portraying King George VI in which 2010 film? It's The King's Speech. The King's Speech, number 6. Anyone get number 7? The actor who plays Adolf Hitler in Downfall, is Bruno Gantz. Bruno Gantz. Number 7. Number 8 is Forrest Whitaker, the actor who took home the Oscar for portraying Idi Amin, the Ugandan dictator, in the film The Last King of Scotland. So answer number 8, I was looking for Forrest Whitaker. Number 9, the film was The Motorcycle Diaries. It's about the Marxist revolutionist Che Guevara. Che Guevara is your answer, number 9. In the film I described, a political film from 1987, was Cry Freedom. Cry Freedom with Denzel Washington and Kevin Kline. So there you go. There's all your answers for this evening. We had some really good scores for the majority, particularly some of the opening rounds. Okay, let me know your scores as you tally them up. How did you fare with the 12th week of the quiz? Be interested to see how you got on this evening. Hopefully, more importantly, you've enjoyed this week. I must admit, I did enjoy the clips round. That was nice to have a few clips on this evening. Obviously, I was a bit of an advantage because I can see the visuals. Bikey Chick with a 10 for the last round. Good score. Anyone else? We've had a 10 so far. And we'll see what your final scores are. Dave Film saying, I was on fire last week. He was indeed. I think he was the runner-up, losing by just a single point. Total of 44. Mr. Harlequin showing off a 10 out of 10 on that round. How many did you get though, Richard? 10 on that round. So total score so far, we just had the 1. It's Dave Films 345 with a grand total of 44. Did really well last week, Dave. He was on fire. Lucy Hawkins did very well indeed. A 60 is a very good score. Mr. Harlequin not showing off. I just write the answers. Yeah, I know the feeling. I've been writing the answers all my life, I think, Rich. Total 53. Suzanne, yeah, thanks, Suzanne. See you next week. Thank you. Good score, 53. So Lucy at the moment is top of the ladder with a very respectable score of 60. Okay, so as we await the scores, would you like us back next week? The only bit of news I have my end is looks like cinemas are going to go back on the 17th. My company that I work for, it's called National Amusements. They own Showcase Cinemas. Looks like I'll be back in May, so I could do those quizzes until May if you want. That's if we still have an audience that wants them. 74, Bikey Chick. Very, very good. And Mr. Harlequin, just one more. Very close again this week. Tight at the leaderboard. It's always tight. 75. Very good. 74, 75. Very good. 60, very good. 53, very good. James, can you do a Dustin Hoffman round? Yeah, we can indeed. Lucy liked the film quotes. Would everyone like to see the quiz back again? Same time, same place next week? If so, anything people would like to see? We did do a couple of theme nights where we didn't do rounds. We just did like an all 80s theme night. Would anyone like to see that back again, even if it's not next week, maybe another time? Yeah, seems that people want the quiz back on Friday. Thanks a lot. Any suggestions? Anything people want? Anything people want to see changed? Anything different? Dave saying he'd love an 80s, a 90s theme. Okay. Could do that. I just thought it freshens it up a little bit because we tend to just do 5 different rounds. Yep. Best way to wind down. Yeah, okay, we could do a 90s theme. I think we did do a 90s theme before, but it could be good. Kind of would like to do, we've not really done it yet, but I wouldn't mind doing a round just pop songs. I know it's not films from TV shows. Okay, let's do a 90s theme next week then, and then maybe an 80s theme in a couple more weeks. Do a whole quiz if you're singing. Nah, no chance. So it looks like everyone likes the 90s. Let's go 90s next week and come up with all sorts of things with the 90s. It was me kind of growing up, so I can identify with it a lot. Got a bit of a soft spot for the 90s. Animated films, yeah. TV shows and films, no problem. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week. As I said, it's all good fun, it's not a competition. It's just, film questions. We all have a common love of films. It's all a bit of escapism as well. As I said, hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for your support. Appreciate it a lot over the last couple of weeks. And I got to be honest, as silly as it sounds, is always quite a highlight of my week. It's not really a chore for me doing the questions. I normally spend about 3-4 hours on the questions. I used to do them on a Sunday night. I tend to come up with them on a Wednesday. As I said, it normally takes about 3-4 hours. But I do enjoy it. As I said, I've always had a massive love and passion for film. So yeah, it's just, I like sharing and talking about film. So I'm glad you all enjoy it, which is the main thing. Good night. We'll see you. Films from 4 countries of the UK. That's an interesting one. Could relate that to the 90s as well. I like that. But we'll finish. I'm going to, I think, have another glass of the fruity stuff in a fruity glass as well. Whether there'll be some fruitiness tonight is another story. Shouldn't be saying that, should I? I get myself into serious trouble one of these days. Always get myself into trouble. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the weekend. And we'll roll on for Friday, next Friday, which will be the 16th edition of the second lockdown LA Cinema Quiz. Good night. Keep streaming. Keep watching good films. And don't forget, cinemas will be back soon. Watch this space. Good night. See you later. Back next week with the 90s. Over and out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and see you next week. Good night.